Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are taking the pulse of the Cardano ecosystem. There's always so much going on, so we've been digging through all the latest updates from across the network to really piece together a clear picture of its health, its momentum, and where it's all headed. All right, let's get into it.
So, let's just kick things off with a pretty big question. When we talk about a crypto ecosystem being healthy or active, what does that even mean? Is it just a bunch of hype, or are there real, tangible things we can actually point to? Well, as you're about to see, the answer is absolutely in the data.
And how's this for an answer right out of the gate? 10 million ADA. That's the brand new total value locked, or TVL, that the team over at Flow just announced. That is a huge milestone, and it shows some serious capital and trust flowing right into the ecosystem.
And that number is the perfect way to jump into our first section, the financial pulse. This is where we're going to follow the money, look at the hard numbers, and really see what all the economic activity is telling us about the strength of this ecosystem right now.
Just look at Strike Finance. In a single 24-hour window, they saw $8.5 million in trading volume. That is a serious amount of activity for just one day.
And that's not just a one-day thing, right? If you zoom out a little bit, that number balloons to $80 million in volume over the last month. The key thing here is that this isn't some random one-off spike, it's sustained momentum.
And it's not just in one corner of the ecosystem either. It is happening all over the place. Look at this. Angel Finance had a huge 350,000 ADA loan get filled in just 12 hours. Flow just wrapped up a 10,000 ADA buyback to support its token. And over at Strike, liquidity providers pulled in over 100,000 ADA this week alone. These are real financial wins happening across the board.
Okay, so what I love about this is that it shows it's not all the same kind of activity. You've got so many different ways to earn. You've got a loan on Angel Finance giving a nice steady 12% APR. Then you have Trifecta's nodes projecting something like 31% per year. Then there are the direct rewards from providing liquidity on Strike and compounding on Bankfi. The big takeaway? A healthy system has multiple, diverse ways for people to put their capital to work.
All right, so the money's moving, that's for sure. But, a healthy ecosystem, it's got to be more than just the numbers, right? It needs a rock-solid foundation. And that brings us to our next section, building and securing. We're going to go behind the curtain a bit and look at the critical development and security work that makes all that growth possible.
And this is a perfect example of what that hard work actually looks like in practice. Angel Finance, right? They're getting ready for their mainnet launch, and they are doing it by the book. A security audit turned up 16 vulnerabilities, but instead of sweeping that under the rug, they're completely open about it. The team has already squashed 15 of them, and they're just finalizing things for a safe and secure launch. That right there is how you build trust.
But look, let's be real. Building anything new is never just a straight line up. There are always going to be bumps in the road, right? Real progress means facing those challenges head-on and showing that you're resilient. And that's exactly what we see next.
And here's a great example. The team over at Flow found a bug, a minor one, in their off-chain code. Now, no funds were ever lost, but what's really important is how they handled it. They patched it, sent out refunds immediately, and communicated super clearly that all funds were safeu, which, if you don't know, is crypto slang for safe. That kind of fast, transparent problem solving, that's the sign of a really mature project.
Okay, so we've seen the financial pulse is strong, we've seen that the foundation is being built and secured. So, what's next? Where is all this momentum actually taking us? Let's shift our focus and look ahead in our final section, expanding the horizon.
And man, the near future is looking busy. Just in the next 10 days, Strike Finance is kicking off its very first governance vote. That's huge for decentralization. Then on August 18th, Flow is dropping its official roadmap with a super ambitious goal, 100 million ADA in TVL. And on top of that, Tokeo is starting a whole month of big announcements. The pace is definitely not slowing down.
And speaking of Tokeo, this is a really cool move. They're expanding over to the Sui blockchain. But, and this is the important part, they're not leaving Cardano. It's more like they're building a bridge. This is a super strategic play that moves away from that old winner-take-all attitude. It's all about interoperability now, connecting different communities so everyone can grow together.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, it's pretty clear. You've got the financial growth, you've got the rock-solid security work, and you've got this exciting future expansion. This ecosystem is absolutely buzzing with activity on all fronts.
And that really brings it all back to you guys, the community that's making this all happen. We've looked at the data, we've seen the updates, we've seen the roadmaps, so I guess we'll just leave you with this final thought. With everything that's going on, what projects are you most excited about?